Stop. Before you spend another dollar on a skincare product this week, I need you to hear something that the beauty industry has spent decades trying to make sure you never fully understand. The most powerful things you can do for your skin after 60 cost absolutely nothing. Not less than your current routine. Nothing. And the habits that are quietly aging your skin faster than time itself are not the ones most women think of. They are ordinary. They are daily. And they are almost certainly part of what you did this morning before you even thought about skincare at all. In the next few minutes, I am going to walk you through 6 skincare mistakes that are aging the skin of almost every woman over 60 who makes them. And every single fix is free. Not cheap. Not affordable. Free. No product to buy, no cream to order, no serum to hunt down. These are changes in behavior and understanding that cost nothing and begin working the very day you start them. And the number one mistake on this list, the one I am saving for last, is one that happens every single night whether you think about it or not. It is the most powerful skincare tool available to any woman at any age, and it does not come in a bottle. Stay with me all the way to the end, because that last one is the one worth building toward. Everything on this list is free. Everything starts today. Let us count down. Mistake number 6. Not protecting from the sun. And this one is uncomfortable to hear because it involves something that feels harmless, something the culture has treated as optional for most of our lives, and something that a lot of women over 60 genuinely believe no longer applies to them. Mistake number 6 is not protecting your skin from the sun. I know what you are thinking. You are not sunbathing. You are not lying on a beach. You are driving to the grocery store, walking to the mailbox, sitting near a window at home. That exposure feels too small to matter. But here is the truth that dermatologists have known for decades, and that the beauty industry has quietly built its entire anti-aging product line on top of. UV exposure is the single largest external cause of visible skin aging. Not stress. Not diet. Not sleep. UV light. And it reaches your skin through car windows, through the glass in your home, on overcast days when you cannot see a single ray of direct sunlight, and during the 15 minutes between your front door and wherever you are going. After 60, the skin has a compromised barrier compared to younger decades. It produces less natural oil, holds less moisture, and repairs itself more slowly after any kind of damage. UV damage at 60 does not behave the same way it did at 30. It accumulates faster and shows faster. The brown spots that appear seemingly overnight, the fine lines that deepen between one season and the next, the loss of that subtle glow that healthy skin carries, most of this is not age. Most of it is UV exposure compounding year after year on skin that no longer has the same repair capacity it once did. Here is something most women do not know. Standard glass windows block UVB rays, the ones that cause sunburn, but they do not block UVA rays. UVA rays are the ones responsible for premature aging. Deep wrinkles, brown spots, loss of firmness, these are primarily UVA effects. Which means that sitting by a sunny window at home, or riding in a car, exposes the skin to the most aging category of UV light even when there is no visible sunshine and no possibility of burning. This is not a minor point. Women who sit near windows regularly for years often show significantly more aging on the side of the face closest to the window than on the other side. This has been documented and photographed, and it is one of the clearest demonstrations that exists of what UV does to skin over time. The fix costs nothing if you already own a moisturizer, because SPF 30 or higher drugstore sunscreen is available for under $5, and a small amount covers the face and neck. But even before the sunscreen, the simplest thing is awareness. Knowing that the light coming through your car window is aging your skin. Knowing that the 10 minutes you stand near a sunny window every morning is a choice. Sitting a little further from the window. Wearing a wide brim hat on a walk. Closing the car visor. None of these cost anything. If you have never made sun protection part of your daily routine and you start now, the most visible change most women over 60 report is not a reversal of damage. That takes time. It is that the damage stops accumulating at the rate it was. The skin stops getting visibly older month over month. It holds. And for skin after 60, holding is one of the most powerful results you can ask for. And if mistake number 6 just made you think about your morning drive differently, stay with me. Because mistake number 5 is something you are doing directly to your skin with your own hands every single day. And you almost certainly think it is the responsible, thorough, clean thing to do. Mistake number 5. Cleansing too roughly. Stop being too rough when you cleanse your skin. This is the mistake that masquerades as care. Women who are conscientious about their skin often make this mistake more than those who barely wash their faces at all. Because it comes from a belief, a very understandable belief, that thorough cleansing means firm cleansing. That getting the skin really clean means working the cleanser in with pressure. That scrubbing, rubbing, and pulling are the signs of a proper cleanse. They are not. On skin after 60, they are the signs of damage in progress. Here is what happens structurally when you rub or scrub mature skin aggressively. Skin after 60 has significantly less collagen and elastin than it did in younger decades. These are the proteins that give skin its structure and its ability to snap back after being stretched or pulled. Young skin can be rubbed fairly vigorously and it springs back without consequence. Mature skin that is pulled and rubbed consistently breaks down the remaining elastic fibers faster than they would deteriorate on their own. The result over months and years of rough handling is skin that sags and lines more quickly than it would have with gentle care. There is also the barrier issue. The skin barrier, the outermost layer that keeps moisture in and irritants out, is already more delicate after 60 than it was before. Rough cleansing strips this barrier more completely and more quickly than gentle cleansing does. A stripped barrier means moisture escapes faster, and the skin looks and feels drier within hours of cleansing. Dry skin shows every line more deeply than hydrated skin does. And a chronically stripped barrier, irritated day after day, eventually becomes sensitized and reactive. One more detail that almost nobody mentions. Water temperature. Hot water feels thorough. It feels like it is really cleaning. But hot water is one of the most reliable ways to strip the skin barrier on mature skin. It dissolves the natural oils on the surface more completely than warm water does, and those natural oils are already in short supply after 60. The result of consistently washing with hot water is skin that feels tight immediately after cleansing, that tight feeling that people sometimes mistake for clean, when in reality it is the sensation of the barrier being stripped. Warm water, not hot. Your skin will feel different within a week of making this single change. The fix is so simple it almost feels like you are not doing enough. Use a soft cloth, or just your fingertips. Work the cleanser in with circular movements that are as light as if you were touching a bruise. No pressure. No rubbing back and forth. No dragging the skin in any direction. Just gentle circular movement, warm water not hot, and a soft pat to dry rather than a rub. The cleanser does the cleaning. Your hands are just the delivery system. Pressure does not make the cleanser more effective. It only makes the skin more stressed. Now, the number 1 mistake is still at the end where I promised it. But mistake number 4 is the one that silently undoes more skincare effort than almost anything else on this list. And it is about something you are probably already doing. The problem is not that you are doing it. The problem is when, and with what. Mistake number 4. Wrong moisturizer timing and texture. Stop moisturizing at the wrong time and with the wrong texture. Moisturizer after 60 is not optional. It is the single most consistently effective topical skincare step available to mature skin at any price point. The problem is that most women apply it in a way that reduces its effectiveness significantly without knowing it. Here is the first error. Applying moisturizer to completely dry skin. Moisturizer is not a water source. It is a water trapper. The ingredients in a moisturizer work by creating a layer that holds water against the surface of the skin, preventing it from evaporating. If the skin is already dry when the moisturizer goes on, there is very little water for it to hold. The skin stays dry underneath the moisturizer because the moisturizer had nothing to lock in. There is a window. After washing the face, that window is approximately 60 seconds. Within 60 seconds of patting, not rubbing, the face dry, the surface still holds a thin film of moisture. That film is what the moisturizer traps. After 60 seconds on a warm day or in a heated room, that surface moisture has already evaporated. The moisturizer then sits on already dry skin and works at a fraction of its capacity. 60 seconds. That is the entire fix. It requires no new product and no new step. It requires only changing the sequence, moisturizer first, then everything else, within 60 seconds of patting dry. The correct way is to apply moisturizer to skin that is still slightly damp, within 60 seconds of patting it dry after washing, or after applying a damp cloth to the face. That brief window of moisture on the surface is what the moisturizer locks in. The difference in how the skin feels and looks throughout the day when you do this compared to applying it to dry skin is something most women notice within 3 days of changing the habit. The second error involves texture. Many women over 60 are still using the same lightweight gel or water-based moisturizer they used at 40, when the skin still produced enough natural oil to complement a lighter formula. After 60, the skin produces significantly less sebum. A lightweight formula that felt perfect at 40 may no longer be providing enough barrier support for the skin you have now. Rich creams and oil-containing formulas are not heavy or pore-clogging on mature skin the way they might be on younger skin. They are appropriate. They are what the skin now needs. The least expensive rich moisturizer at a drugstore, applied immediately after cleansing to slightly damp skin, will outperform an expensive lightweight serum applied incorrectly to dry skin every single time. And now, 3 mistakes in and still 3 to go. The number 1 is waiting. But mistake number 3 is the one that most women over 60 have literally never thought about, not because it is complicated, but because nobody in the beauty industry has an incentive to point it out. It does not sell anything. Mistake number 3. Forgetting neck and décolletage. Stop ending your skincare routine at your jawline. Your face ends at your jaw. Your skin does not. The neck, the chest, the décolletage, these areas of skin are exposed to the same sun, the same environment, the same gravitational pull, and the same hormonal changes as the face. And almost every woman over 60 applies everything she uses on her face, the cleanser, the moisturizer, the sunscreen, all of it, to exactly the boundary of her jaw and no further. The neck and chest receive nothing. The result is visible and specific. The face looks one way and the neck looks another. The contrast between a cared-for face and an uncared-for neck draws the eye to the neck and to the difference in texture, color, and hydration between the two areas. The neck shows horizontal lines, vertical bands, and spots that the face no longer shows because the face has been receiving care and the neck has not. The visual disconnect is one of the most consistently aging contrasts that appears on women over 60, and it is entirely self-created. Not by neglect. By habit. By the unexamined assumption that skincare stops at the jaw. There is one more thing about the neck worth understanding. The skin on the neck is thinner than the skin on the face. It has fewer sebaceous glands, which means it produces less natural oil and dries out faster. It is also in constant movement. Every time you look down at a phone, a book, a plate, which creates repeated folding of already thin and dry skin. The combination of thin skin, low oil production, constant movement, and total absence of care is what creates the stark visual difference between the face and neck on women over 60 who have cared for one and ignored the other. The fix is zero additional cost. Whatever you already use on your face, take it 2 inches further down. Every time. Cleanser down the neck. Moisturizer down the neck and across the chest. Sunscreen down the neck and across the chest and décolletage. The motions take approximately 15 additional seconds. The product used is a fraction of what goes on the face. And the result over weeks and months is a gradual evening of the visual relationship between the face and the neck. The contrast begins to close as the neck begins to receive what the face has been receiving all along. Now, halfway through this list and the number 1 is still waiting. Mistake number 2 is the one that most women know about in theory, but do not actually practice in the way that makes a real difference to the skin. And it involves something that is available to everyone, costs nothing, and that almost everyone underestimates by a wide margin. Mistake number 2. Not drinking enough water. Stop underestimating what not drinking enough water is doing to your skin. I know you have heard this before. Drink more water. It is one of the most repeated pieces of beauty advice in existence. And because it is so familiar, it tends to pass through without landing. Yes, drink more water. I know. And then nothing changes. So let me tell you specifically what is happening to your skin when you are chronically underhydrated. Not the vague version. The specific version that actually makes a difference to how the skin looks. Skin cells, like every cell in the body, are composed primarily of water. When the cells are well hydrated, they are plump, full. They push against each other and against the skin surface from underneath, creating a natural internal pressure that makes the skin look smooth and firm. This is not a product effect. It is a hydration effect. When cells are dehydrated, they shrink. They pull away from each other slightly. The skin surface above them loses that internal support and settles into whatever lines and folds exist in the face. Every line looks deeper on dehydrated skin. Every shadow looks more pronounced. The face looks older by the afternoon than it did in the morning, and this is almost always partly a hydration story. After 60, the body's ability to signal thirst becomes less reliable than it was. You can be significantly dehydrated and not feel thirsty. The old advice to drink when you are thirsty is genuinely not sufficient for women over 60. The more reliable guide is the color of the urine. Pale yellow means adequately hydrated, dark yellow means significantly underhydrated. Most women are surprised to find, when they start paying attention, that they are underhydrated for most of the day. Here is something specific worth knowing about water and the skin that most hydration advice skips entirely. The skin is not the first organ in line when the body distributes water. When you drink, the water goes first to the organs that need it most urgently for survival: the kidneys, the heart, the digestive system. The skin is last. This means that drinking just enough water to feel not thirsty is often not enough to reach the skin in meaningful quantities. The skin gets what is left after everything else has been served. Which is why the visible difference between adequately hydrated skin and well-hydrated skin is real and measurable, and why simply not feeling thirsty is not a reliable guide to whether your skin is getting what it needs. The fix costs nothing. 6 to 8 glasses of water spread through the day, not all at once. A glass before each meal. A glass when you wake up before you drink anything else. A glass in the late afternoon, when the body naturally begins to feel sluggish. The visible difference in the skin at the end of a well-hydrated week compared to an underhydrated week is real and measurable. This is not myth. It is cellular biology. And it costs nothing. Now, we have arrived at mistake number 1. The one I promised at the beginning was the most powerful skincare tool available to any woman at any age, and the one that does not come in a bottle. The one that happens every night whether or not you are using it deliberately. And the one that, when used correctly, does something to the skin that no cream, no serum, and no treatment can replicate. Mistake number 1. Not understanding what sleep does for skin. Not understanding what your skin is doing while you sleep, and not giving it the conditions it needs to do it. Here is what is actually happening to your skin between roughly 10 in the evening and 2 in the morning, during the deepest phases of sleep. The body produces the vast majority of its daily growth hormone output during this window. Growth hormone is the primary driver of cellular repair and regeneration in the body. It is what signals the skin cells to divide, to replace old or damaged cells with new ones, to produce collagen, to rebuild what the day has worn down. This is not a slow background process. It is the skin's primary repair window. The most significant cellular renewal that your skin does in any 24-hour period happens during deep sleep, and it is concentrated in that early nighttime window. If you are consistently sleeping fewer than 7 hours, or if your sleep is fragmented and does not reach deep sleep stages regularly, the skin's repair cycle is shortened or interrupted every single night. Night after night. Week after week. The collagen that could have been produced is not produced. The cells that could have been replaced are not replaced. The inflammatory compounds that accumulate during the day, which the body normally clears during deep sleep, remain in the tissue. Chronic poor sleep is visible on the face within days. The skin looks dull. The under-eye area darkens. Fine lines look deeper in the morning than they would after a full night of sleep. And over months and years of consistently shortened or disrupted sleep, the cumulative difference in the skin's appearance compared to what it could be is significant. There is another dimension to this that the beauty industry never mentions, because it does not sell anything. When sleep is consistently shortened or disrupted, the body produces elevated levels of cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol actively breaks down collagen. It is not neutral to collagen production. It degrades it. Which means that chronically poor sleep is not just failing to repair the skin. It is actively breaking down the structure of the skin night after night. This is why women who go through extended periods of poor sleep, illness, caregiving, anxiety, insomnia, often report that their skin aged visibly and rapidly during that period. The experience is real and the mechanism is documented. The fix is not expensive. It is not a supplement or a device. It is a consistent bedtime, a dark, cool room, and the understanding that the hours between 10 and 2 are the most valuable skincare hours of your day, not the ones in the bathroom mirror. Getting into bed by 10, giving your body the full repair window it is designed to use, doing this consistently rather than occasionally, this is the most powerful anti-aging skincare practice available to you. And it costs exactly nothing. Before we close, here is what ties all 6 of these mistakes together. Sun protection, gentle cleansing, correct moisturizer timing, neck and chest care, hydration, and sleep. Not one of these requires a product you do not already own. Not one requires a single appointment. Not one requires spending anything. They require only the understanding that your skin is a living organ that responds to how you treat it every single day, and that the most powerful things you can do for it are the simplest ones, done consistently. Before you go, here is the thought that connects all 6 of these mistakes. Sun, gentleness, moisture timing, neck care, water, sleep. 6 things. None of them in a bottle. None of them requiring a purchase. All of them available to every woman over 60 regardless of budget, regardless of location, regardless of what she can or cannot afford. The beauty industry has spent decades convincing women that skincare is purchased. It is not. It is practiced. And the practices on this list are the foundation that every expensive product in the world is built on top of. Get the foundation right, and everything else works better. Without the foundation, nothing works as well as it could. Pick one from this list. The one that felt most familiar when I described it. The one where you thought, that is me, I have been doing that for years. Pick that one and change it tomorrow. Not all 6 at once. Just one. Come back and tell me which one you chose. Tell me if you noticed a difference. Tell me if your skin looked different after a week. I read every single comment that comes in on this channel. If this helped you today, share it with one woman in your life who needs to hear that taking care of her skin does not have to cost a single thing. You do not need to explain anything. Just send it. She will understand exactly why you did. And if you are not yet subscribed, do it now. Because next week I am covering the 5 morning habits that quietly drain the energy and the radiance from women over 60 before the day has even properly begun. And not one of them involves a skincare product or costs a single dollar. You are going to want to be there for that one. You are not running out of options. You are not running out of time. You are not running out of skin. You are simply standing at the point where the right information is worth more than any product ever could be. And today you got it, completely and entirely for free. Tell me below, which of these 6 skincare mistakes did you recognize the most in yourself today? I read every single one of them.